They just picked up Avery Bradley. I don't even know how he makes the roster, but whatever. The optimal lineup for the Lakers from an analytics standpoint is Anthony Davis has to play center. I think a lot of people push for that in the playoffs and closing lineups. He usually does. But here is the optimal lineup from a spacing perspective, a LeBron perspective, both offensive and defensive. It's Russell Westbrook, Kent Bazemore, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Malik Monk. And I think this is important to reiterate when you guys are looking at basketball, not even just from a betting perspective, but just trying to learn the game a little more from an analytic perspective, which is where obviously a lot of these general managers are moving. You either need to be able to shoot threes or you need to be able to get the ball to people that can shoot threes. And that, if you just think of the math of basketball, think about how much more a three is worth than a two over time. Your percentages for a three, obviously you need to shoot a lower percentage and could still score more points because three is more than two, very simply. So my point being, everyone knows this. How did Giannis just win a title? You surround him with shooters. When has LeBron James done the best? You surround it with shooters. Why does this lineup not make sense to people that they rolled out tonight? Nobody can shoot. That's a big problem when you have Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, DeAndre Jordan, Kent Bazemore. You're not rolling out any of the people like Wayne Ellington, I know was hurt. Kendrick Nunn didn't play as well, hurt. And Malik Monk, I'm not actually sure how it played out, but my guess is this is what the closing lineup will look like. And I know a lot of people are probably I know this is the one that the fans want. So I did some work on it. Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, THT. It's not going to happen. That's a bad lineup. The spacing is pretty horrible. You're not maximizing anyone on the roster's talents. Russell Westbrook would be useless there. LeBron James would still be really good at basketball because he's good at every part of basketball, but he'd be less good. You need to surround LeBron and Russ with shooters. Anthony Davis can kind of shoot. For a big man, he could really shoot, but when he plays power forward, everyone else needs to shoot. Russell Westbrook cannot shoot. He's the worst high volume three-point shooter to ever live. So everyone else on the court needs to be a three-point shooter. So before, we move on, happy to get everyone's opinions on it. But again, surround him with shooters, put in Malik Monk, add in Wayne Ellington often, Kendrick Nunn often, and Kent Bazemore makes a lot of sense he's actually better than spacing than people expect. And he's a very good analytical defender. And it hides Malik Monk in a way who's probably, I know Wayne Ellington's probably the best three-point shooter on the team, but Malik Monk is, I believe he shot over 40% last year. He's someone that should be on the court. He's young. He's analytically better than Wayne Ellington. They do kind of the same things. He just does it better and he's younger. So I wanted to touch on that. We'll see how it plays out. But if you're betting on the Lakers early season versus late, when you have a bunch of veteran players, LeBron James obviously loves veteran players. They are probably going to swing towards their veterans early that have a little bit of clout. DeAndre Jordan should not be a starting basketball player at this point in his career. Eventually, especially at the closing lineup, and especially in the playoffs, Anthony Davis is going to have to play center. So when you're framing your bets, just remember that there's going to be a buy low opportunity, in my opinion, on the Lakers. I actually don't know if they won tonight, but I believe at some point you'll see a switch to what is a more efficient lineup